Buddy, we're live. It's me, Jim Edwards, along with
Dean Edelson.
That's right. This is like the senior moment test. It's like along with, and he still knows his own name, and I know mine too. We're in good shape today.
But my name was up on the screen, so I just had to read it. Fortunately.
Oh, that is, my friend, that is called strategy. When they talk about the old bull and the young bull, that's just strategy, my friend.
When you need a teleprompter for your own identity.
So what's been new there, Dean?
Oh my goodness. Well, you and I were talking briefly. There's a big, huge launch going on right now with ClickFunnels because they just acquired a couple of months ago all of Dan Kennedy's marketing materials. They just acquired Dan Kennedy's company. So they partnered, Dan Kennedy and Russell partnered. So it's been total fun writing copy for Dan Kennedy and listening to stuff that's back from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and the 215s, the two teens, however you call it, the 20 teens.
I don't know.
Nobody
ever explained to me how the aught 20s, maybe?
Aught 20s.
Yeah.
Pre-20s. So it is just amazing. Some stuff you hear before and you go, oh man, this is good again. Or why do I forget that? Why don't I know that by now? And then there's other stuff you're going, holy smokes, if I only knew.
If I only remembered, or if I only knew, or, sometimes you're just ready for the message too. It's like people are, hi Pravikar, hi Fawad, Christina, everybody say hi. Fawad just asked, I want to learn copying. What should I do? Get a copy of my book, Copywriting Secrets. That's the number one thing you should do. Get a copy of my book, Copywriting Secrets, and then go buy Funnel Scripts. This is the first thing you want to do. Go to copywritingsecrets.com. Get yourself a copy. Christina says, last week's episode was so amazing. Can't wait for this. Oh, crap. Nothing like pressure. Come on. Nothing like some pressure. So, it's funny, though. You talk about copy and learning copy and things like that. It was a great question that Fawad asked, because you're never done learning copy. There's always something new to learn, either from someone else or from your own results, from feedback from people with credit card in hand who are saying yay or nay or maybe. I feel like Emperor Nero right now. It's like,
Gladiator.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You go to conferences all the time and stuff, come back with these cool t-shirts and stuff like Copy Chief and all that. What's up with that?
It's a reminder of the things you don't know.
Right.
And what, like you said, all the nuances and everybody, the great thing about copy is that there are rules and then there's no rules. And when I talk about no rules, the no rules apply to who you are and your voice. And having the courage just to write from your gut about and who you are.
Yeah.
And if you marry that with some of like in improvisation, there's very few rules, but the rules that there are in improv,
keep your pants on.
You got to stick with them. You just have to stick with those parameters. And those are the same thing. You learn those copywriting rules about how to go, about hooks and headlines and persuasion and scarcity and urgency. Those are the kinds of the frameworks. When you get those and you marry that with your voice, which is being the rebel or the renegade, as Dan Kennedy would say, in your copywriting, oh boy, there's no stopping you.
Yeah, and this, I had a very unique opportunity yesterday to spend 2 hours with Dan Kennedy himself. We're working on a piece of software that will be part of an offer that will be coming in the next couple of months, related to one of his books. That's really all I can say about it right now, but it's amazing. And I just have to fanboy just for a second. You know, I have several regrets in my life, most of them involving alcohol. And I'm just kidding. I just kidding. It sounded like the wrong story. Okay, it's just goofing around. But I never saw Elvis live in concert. Never saw Frank Sinatra live in concert. Never saw Willie Nelson in his prime in concert, because Willie's rough right now. But I got to talk in depth with Dan Kennedy one-on-one about copywriting for a couple straight hours, and it was amazing. Like, so amazing that we're going to try and figure out how we can turn that conversation into a bonus to go with the software that we're going to be creating. It was that good. And you talk about learning or relearning or getting a new perspective on something that you just think you know. Like you think you know about writing a sales letter. All right. You think you know about hooks and headlines and other stuff. And then you talk to somebody who's a true pioneering master, and he's just like dropping stuff that you're like, damn, you know, I knew that, but I don't, it's like, I don't, it's been like 10 years since I did. And I used to do that, but I stopped. And it's like why football teams, you know, I ran that play in Pee Wee. Why am I running that play now that I'm in the pros? I run that play already. Yeah, but you got to keep running those plays over and over and over and over and over to keep it all top of mind, so that you can put the plays, the knowledge into play with the circumstances that you find on a live field right now. So just thinking about all the things of, you know, Facebook, YouTube, websites, blogs, social media, Google, Medium, ad networks, all these different things that are flying at you all over the place, you forget the principles that allow you to be able to succeed anywhere if you understand those principles. But you got to constantly rehearse them, review them, use them, try them, experiment. It's just getting your hands dirty, which most people are like, I just want to learn this thing once and then I'm cool. I'll know it. No, you won't. And that applies to anything, but specifically it applies to copy. But I just also wanted to brag that I got to spend 2 hours with Dan Kennedy and you didn't.
You win again. Every show you win.
It's always about me winning.
Of course. And I can see. Jim 10, Dean 0.
Nah, it's not true, Dean. You win every once in a while when I let you. So, you know, the one thing, I'm going to share a couple nuggets that I got yesterday from talking with Dan. I'm going to share a couple nuggets that I want to share. Okay, because one of the things we talk about is the grabber at the beginning, and this was again the thing that we get so tied in on stuff. And by the way, if you all aren't like taking notes right now or saying where's the replay, is there going to be a replay, you are not paying attention. Okay, so when we talk about the grabber, typically we talk about, you know, attention, whoever the target audience is. So attention, chinchilla ranchers, attention, you know, entrepreneurs. And my thought has always been, you know, pretty much you got to call out a person, or call out a person as far as you've got to know who your target audience is. But this is where you have a master as opposed to someone who, like me, who's a journeyman. Okay, to some people, I'm a master. Compared to this guy, I'm a journeyman. Okay. But Dan's like, well, yeah, but. I'm like, oh, crap. Here comes something good. Now, he was very cool. He didn't take me to the whipping post. And he actually did tell me I was like halfway smart a couple times, which was like total total great, ego stroke for me, or
Yeah.
at least I took it that way. He didn't curse at me, which I thought was like a total.
Did you say, Dan, hold on, Dan, can you repeat that for my wife? Terry, get in here. Terry,
No.
come here.
No. So, but he did say that this is your best flag. He did confirm, this is your best grabber. If at all possible, you have to grab a person. Okay. But sometimes you just can't do it. And you're doing attention, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, coaches, trainers, lawyers, doctors, dentists, and other professionals. You can't do that. So what he told me, and this is something, again, to me was momentous. But he said a couple of things that you can do is you can use the grabber with the big, broad pain or the big, broad benefit. So, attention, whatever sufferers. So attention, allergy sufferers. Not attention, people who are allergic to trees, weeds, grass, dust mites, cats, maple leaves.
It's a direct identity.
Right. Now, you could do seasonal allergy sufferers, or you could be, or whatever, but it's the big pain. That was huge for me. And then the big benefit, it's the big benefit, and you can also, it doesn't have to be attention, if you want, and this was something that he reminded me of, that pre-heads can be longer than 3 words. He said, there are no rules, just like what you said. There are rules, but there are no rules. And we get we get dyed in the wool, but, if you want to create blank for your family, or do it as a question, do you want to? And it's just, it was neat because it got me out of my, like I said, dyed in the wool attitudes about a lot of things. And
well, here, hold on.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going to back for you, because when and this is just, it relates to what you just said. You got to remember, Jim, you've been spending the past 6, almost 7 years creating funnel scripts. So you're in a head that is, what is the best way that my audience, whether they beginners or B, C list copywriters, I'm not diminishing or disparaging in any way, but you're
Right.
in that headspace where, how do I make it easy for somebody who's not that experienced in copywriting to
Right.
create fantastic copy? So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm letting you off the hook here by saying you're not doing this Dan Kennedy stuff because you're not in that headspace.
Right. But I think now, 6, 7 years later, by thinking about this, and the fact that we now have the avatar that we did not have when we started with funnel scripts and all that stuff, I think I can do more of this. Is what I'm saying.
Amazing grabber scripts.
Right. No, for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's part of why I'm so excited, because I see now that I can take it to the next level. That's my point. And I appreciate you letting me off the hook. And you're absolutely 100% spot on that. And Dan even told me, I said, well, this is the way I've been showing people. He says, well, if you're only got one way of doing it, that's the best way. For, and he said that like 3 times. I was like, well,
Harry,
this is the way.
Can you please repeat that, Dan? Terry.
No, then it would have gotten ugly. I got him to admit, though, he's watched Netflix. I figured the guy who doesn't do email, he's like, yeah, I've watched Netflix, but it's my wife's.
Uh-huh.
And I've never turned it on myself. Okay. I'll watch it with her. It's just funny. He was just so cool. It was just so cool to talk to him. But this, I think I can do better. So we're going to be actually coming out with some really cool stuff to go along with what Russell's doing now with magnetic marketing and stuff. I am, as they say in the trade papers and in the ED ads, I am reinvigorated. So, which is pretty cool. Which brings me to something I want us to talk about today, which I'd love your feedback on. Let's talk a little bit about bonuses today. Dean, what's up, Amanda? What's up, Anna? What's up, Carlin? Fisherman Ben is here. He asked an interesting question. If we have time, we will hit that. So, as you all know, Russell is launching his thing with Dan Kennedy. They're relaunching Dan's newsletter. Well, they're going to unlaunch it, but they're launching a combo offer, really cool offer. And Susan, if you're here, could you drop the could you drop in the chat box our link to that for what I'm going to be about to talk about? If you could drop that in there, please. So obviously I'm excited because I'm going to be writing a column in Dan's newsletter about copywriting. I think they're even calling it the Copywriting Secrets column. And which is funny because that goes right along with my book, Copywriting Secrets, that you can get a copy of for free at copywritingsecrets.com. And so I've been trying to think of, okay, what would be a really, 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 really cool bonus? And thank you, Susan. It's the JimEdwardsMethod.com/no BS is the link. So my initial thought was like what I did with when Russell did Traffic Secrets was to just have this giant list of cool stuff. And, you know, you get this and 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 you get this, which was kind of cool because it went along with the fact that it was a book and a book is a book is a book. And yeah, you had some other offers and stuff with it, but it was a book. It had some other stuff. So I was like, okay, how could I round this out? So I didn't want to do that this time because with the newsletter, part of it is you're getting a whole bunch of information and then they make some really amazing one-time offers and other stuff that they're really cool. And it's like the information pile-on of Mount Killam with knowledge just seemed like just, hey, do you want even more snow on your car? So here's what I thought. And again, this is a learning thing because I'm trying to train you all how to make your affiliate bonus offer valuable. So there's a lesson here. I'm getting feedback from you, but we're doing a lesson here. In some cases, it makes sense to pile on a whole bunch of cool stuff. In this case, I don't think so. Because I'm going to be writing a column every month in the newsletter. I wish we could call it the unicorn column, but I guess we can't. It's my glittery thing. So here was my thought. Every month, I'm going to have a new topic. So what if I offered a bonus of each month I would do a training on that topic? So if you buy the newsletter through my link, I'll get everybody's email. And then every month, whatever the topic is that month, I'm going to do a training. I'm going to give you an expanded training on that topic. Some of them could also be workshops. So like we do every Thursday, we do our Get It Done workshop at 11 o'clock, where we actually, it's not show up and learn, it's show up, learn, do, get feedback, and in an hour you have something really cool done. So it could be a workshop. In some cases, it might have a wizard connected with it. where I would give you access to a wizard. And basically, as long as you stay a member of the newsletter, you will get a live training with me every single month. And you get the replay and you get the transcript. So what else could we do to make this offer amazing that wouldn't necessarily entail, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you, that wouldn't entail, it would be maximum value for the least amount of effort. That's just being honest, because I can't, I already got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I just think that this would be a cool way to do it. What are your thoughts, Dean? And then I'd love to get anybody else's thoughts in the comments. What do you think, Dean?
Well, you said something in a way I get, and I just want to make sure you understand, because what you're showing me there is it's an incredibly valuable bonus, because you're going to be showing up to do trainings on each of the things that you give a brief overview of in the column of what you're doing, but in the training you're going to go into in depth, so to show people how they can implement it, right?
Right, exactly.
And so, I mean, there's a lot of time right there. You're going to be doing at least 30 minutes to 40 to an hour training for every single column.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 60 minutes.
Okay, there you go. And you know how you go long. So,
yep.
Right? All right. And then, I mean, with this type of and then you said, but you don't want to do more time. You're already investing enough time right now. So what can we come up with that is something that you've already got in your backpack? Or is there something that you can create or kind of repurpose from things that you already have that are just sitting on the shelf, the same way that Dan Kennedy stuff is 40. I mean, some of this stuff is 40, 45 years old. Right. So it would go in line to say, you know what? This stuff worked for me, Jim Edwards, back in '99, and it is still applicable today. Even though I was using Word 98 to create it, or even though I was doing cassettes, the principles still apply. And I think that would definitely go in line with the whole nostalgia of the offer as well, right?
Yep, I agree. I'm with you.
The best of Jim Edwards,
stuff from the vault. I've got a thing that we put together called the Copywriting Hacks Enchilada.
Yeah.
That I have never released. I'm not going to. I wouldn't give that whole thing because it's like 30 trainings, 20 or 30 trainings and stuff in it. But I could pull a few things out of that, and then I could use that to keep the excitement going, because this launch is going to go for 2 weeks. So.
And here's another cool thing. I just thought of something.
What's that?
Well, back then, Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham and Gary Halbert were the people that most people looked to, because there weren't the marketing gurus that there are today, because they all took time and experience to become today's Dan Kennedys and Jay Abrahams and Gary Halberts.
Right.
So what if you took some of your best promos that you go, oh, this was definitely a Gary Halbert influence. This was definitely Dan Kennedy influenced. And here is the winning promo I used, and you can model it because it still works today, because I'm still basing my sales letters and my emails and the stuff that I used to do in print for today.
I like that.
The Jim Edwards Taco Supreme.
Well, no, it's like the Jim swipe file. I mean, I've got a ton of stuff, and it's the same thing that they sell their swipe files.
You're always
so I could have a swipe phone.
You're always talking about that sales letter that got you out of the trailer park. About your first ebook thing.
Oh yeah, I could do critiques of my life-changing sales letters
and break them down. You create a video or a Loom video, and you just go down and say, here's what we did here. here's what, you know.
Holy crap, Dean, that's an awesome idea. That's an amazing idea. Like, seriously amazing. And I can even do it live. Then I don't have to find the time to sit down and do it. I can do it live and have it as an event.
Yeah.
Amanda says you could give a set of your best videos. That would be cool. They're all awesome.
You have to get Terry's permission first.
Hey, that's different. That's a different channel. That's under a nom de plume, as they say.
You're so
I know. I love that though. Critiques of my biggest winners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. You know, it'd be fun. Well, I wouldn't want to impose.
Sure, you would.
I would actually. It'd be fun to have you on there too. I mean, it'd just be fun to have you. You know, by the way, those of you who did not sign up, Dean and I have launched our Copywriters Inner Circle. We've been having our initial meetings. It's amazing. We're already changing people's lives, and we have closed it down for a while, and we might open it up again, maybe. Fisherman Ben says, great idea. I'd love to see these examples. You know, I could even go through, we could do sales letters plus emails. I could have Susan pull up, because we measure this stuff, pull up our best performing emails and just pull those out and analyze those too. And the way I know they're best performing is we know click-through rates and we know open rates. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And you're right, Damon, you get economies of scale when you leverage what you've already done. Dude, that's amazing. That was really smart, Dean.
There you go.
You're a smart feller.
And it's fun. I mean, it's what we do.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it's right in front of our faces, right? But when you're thinking, and this is just to show you that the most obvious things are right in front of your face. It's always comes back to Occam's razor, right?
Right.
Always.
Well, the thing is, though, there's no income claims either, because I'm telling you what it did. I'm showing you the sales letter that made me, you know, here's the sales letter that got me out of the trailer park. Here's the sales letter that paid off my house. Here's the sales letter that got me my property on the water. Here's the sales letter that bought me the property on the beach for cash. I mean, I don't have to tell you the amount, but I can tell. I mean, literally, I have marked my life by sales letters. This is my first, you know, I can show you my first 5-figure sales letter. I can show you, you know, all these different things and go through them. What worked, what, you know, dude, I've had enough sales letters and stuff that could do that monthly, even just, you know, self-critique stuff.
I mean, yeah. I could create a whole business for you right now.
Okay.
We could talk after this.
Oh, like what the? Okay. Talk about a hook. Dean's the best hooker I ever paid.
See, this is going back to the grabber that you started to talk about.
There you go.
Lean in. What? You're going to drop that bomb?
That's what I said. Dean is the greatest hooker I ever paid, and it's true. Do you fish? All right.
I used to as a kid all the time.
There you go.
Lake fish, river fish, deep sea fishing. My dad would take me out. My brother and I, every day, we would go down to the lake with our bait and tackle box and our fresh water and catch perch and sunnies and all that stuff. Fluke at the river, fluke and flounder at the river, and red snapper. And
we have croakers here and sea bass. We have striped bass too. I like it. Okay. Now, holy crap! And I don't have to have it all done at once. But I mean that. How many of honest to God? How many of you here who are here with us live? I'm just saying. I've never done this before. I never even thought to do it until Dean said it, because it's one of those things you just set aside. But how many of you would want? You know, I've talked about the sales letter I wrote that got me out of the trailer park, these various sales letters, some of them are ugly as hell, haven't been updated. I mean, I don't sell the product anymore, but if I were to show you the sales letter at that stage of my life that got me to another level in business and life, and we critiqued it and went through it and analyzed it, how many of you would think that that was cool to see real sales letters that actually made a difference? Fisherman Ben said, I need to see these. Okay. But I'm serious. How many? I mean, maybe it's just Dean and I sitting around this like old farts looking at high school yearbooks and stuff. I want to know, Vicky says awesome. Fisherman Ben, Carlin says he'd be interested. Okay.
So yeah. Here's the tremendous value in something like this. Because, you've heard this before about how do you become a good copywriter? Well, you look at winning pieces of copy, you look at winning sales letters, and you write them by hand. But that's just not even half of it, because you may not even know what you're writing.
Right.
What you're doing is copying something so that you can feel a rhythm and you can absorb it. But here you have somebody showing you, here is why this is a winning sales letter. Here is why we feel these are the elements. This is the story. Look at how this letter is laid out. Look at the rhythm, the feel, the flow from one sentence, from one phrase to the next, to the next, to the next, and how it all ties together. How you have all these different pieces, all these different elements of a sales letter make an entire organism that just plain out works.
Yeah. I was thinking it'd be cool to look back at stuff that made me money and see if I could use it again or update it or what I could learn from it, because I'll see a bunch of stuff I used to do that I stopped doing. So
you've got to, when you look at that, I mean, it depends. You look at it you start looking at the principles, right? So when somebody says, how do you write a great, like say, screenplay or teleplay? Well, go watch some of your favorite shows. Why are you watching that show? And the first couple times you're watching it, you're just so engaged with the characters, you're not even aware of your butt in the chair or on the sofa. For 30 minutes or an hour has gone by, and you're going, oh my God, that was amazing. And you're into the next one, if it's episodic, without even thinking about it, or you're binge watching half for an entire season.
Episodic, is that legal?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's always legal. Always legal. So then if you're going to go, then you can ask yourself, why was that? It's the same thing with the sales letter. Why is that so good? Why did this capture so many viewer eyeballs? Why is this show so darn popular? Why is it renewed season after season? Well, then you have to sit back with a different mindset and look at each scene. And when you go from one scene in an episode, you're watching episode 1, and then it cuts to the next scene, stop it and say, why? Why am I still watching? Why did I watch from this scene to the second scene? What happened? What happens with the characters? Why do I like these characters? What questions are they asking? What open loops are there? What's pulling me in? What's pissing me off? What do I like about these? What's going me to, I never talk during a show, but in this show, I'm like yelling at the screen. I'm like Sunday afternoon quarterback at a football game. Fucking referee, you did this, and how come he didn't pass? And the blocker was out of place. What happened to the second tackle? And that's exactly what happens when you're engaged. And that's what, that's how I see when you're looking at a sales letter. You do the exact same thing when you have, Jim's critiquing it, or Jim and I are going to be critiquing something. That's what we take you through. Here's why you kept reading. Here's why this sold so many units.
Yeah. No, you've sold me, Dean. I'm going to do it. That's going to be an aspect of my bonus. So that's cool. I like it. That'll be fun. Plus it'll be fun. Damon says, Jim,
I'm going to add a layer of more fun. It's the behind the scenes, the story behind the story, because you may remember reading the sales letter. Oh, I remember where I was when I wrote this. I remember thinking it wasn't like this when I first. This is my third or fourth try doing this, because before this, here's what I had, or here's what I was writing. And then I came back and I wrote and going, no, no, no. Because I got to this part of the sales letter and I went back to the top and I thought, no, 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 I'm missing something here, because this piece wasn't in there, wasn't in the first 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 drafts. Or I ran the letter, got feedback, and I told her, going, this headline's dying. I'm not getting the conversions. I thought this would be a winner, so I changed it. And I mean, the story behind the story is probably more fascinating than just the critique itself.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, that's making me think about like where I was and what I was doing, and I remember where I was doing the majority of those sales letters. I could tell you where I was.
See, people
and what I was thinking and what was going on.
That's the story. That's the fascinating part. That's the real hooky part. That's the part that gets people engaged, because people can look at a copywriter and go, oh, they're sitting in a beautiful office at a great desk and they've got their favorite music on. And no, there's peanut butter and jelly stains on the chair and you're in a pair of ripped underwear. You got a pee bed, but you can't get up. Somebody else is in the bathroom. The dog's barking, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It ain't pretty. It rarely is pretty. But that's the stuff of life, and that's the stuff of
and persevering and getting it done.
God. Yeah, but and the interesting part, that's the story behind the letter.
Yeah,
the story behind the story.
I gotcha. I like it, and everybody else is into it too. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
No, it brings it. What it does is it grounds it.
Sure.
It's dirt under the fingernails. It's all the warts and rough edges and the bruises and the skinned knees and everything.
But that could also mean with ongoing stuff too. I mean, how many of you would want to see some of the ads that were running, the good that are working, aren't working, did work for a while, stopped working, and then we critiqued those? Because we spend a lot of money on ads, And did I say a lot of money on ads?
I know, and you're spending more money on ads because Facebook is just so darn goofy these past 3 months, and since iOS 14, it's just even YouTube. No matter what it is, it just seems the advertising platforms and distribution channels are. It's like they just lost their way somehow. Because I know people, I mean, really within the span of just a few weeks, had booming businesses. They were generating some serious revenue on high ticket, and then all of a sudden, their audiences went up, and they're getting fewer clicks on ads, or the ads are just going to the page, but nobody is opting in, or nobody.
And the prices have gone through the roof.
It's just silly.
Yeah.
And nobody knows why. Nobody has an answer. Some people think they have an answer, but nobody's got an answer.
Yeah, well, but in the end, the only thing that matters is
you're spending it.
Yeah, you're spending the money and you're either making it or you ain't. And all the excuses in the world. What's happening is Facebook is driving. We're getting off topic. Facebook is driving the little guy out, and they only want to do big institutional stuff. And ultimately they want stupid money to spend money on Facebook, and they don't want people like us that are actually counting pennies. Ultimately, that's what they want to get rid of. So
then they'll just get more hate posts from the little guys because they're making them happy.
Well, but then they can turn you over to the Department of Justice.
That's true.
It'll be fine.
So anyway, back to the sales stuff. And I'd love to, before we end, I think it would be nice to answer a couple of these questions that Fisherman Ben had up, at the beginning about he said Fisherman Ben said he's got a product, but how does he know what problem it solves?
Well, you shouldn't have created you create a product to solve a problem, a known problem that people are spending money on, that are actively looking for a solution. So this is a typical thing that people do is I've got a product, now I go in search of an audience. So one thing you can do is go ask people, hey, I've got this product. What problem do you think this solves for you? Honest to God, that's one way of doing it. The other way is to go find a similar product and see if you can discern from their copy, from the reviews, from their marketing, from everything, what problems do they address to try and sell it. You can go in and look at the ads. If they're running ads on Facebook, Facebook has to show you all their ads now. So you can look at those for free. You can look at all their past back ads.
That's right. Facebook ads library. Just Google Facebook ads library. It'll come up with a link, and then just do a search for your industry, for a certain entrepreneur or company or business owner that's doing something similar to you in your space. And
oh wow, dude, it's letting me post in the chat. For whatever reason, I'm able to post stuff in chat. I just put the link to it in the in there. It's facebook.com/ads/library. You can research everybody's ads. So look at your competitors' ads and see how much they are spending, or not how much they're spending, but see what ads they're running and what problems they're addressing. Yeah. And Susan very kindly is putting it in the other spots where it won't let me post it. So
yeah, you can also Susan. Google, best bodybuilding ads on Facebook. Just Google or best bodybuilding ads or whatever it is. Google it, and you'll come up with millions of pages. There's no end to the goodness you can find.
Exactly. All right. Well, I actually have a telehealth session here in 5.5 minutes. I'm visiting with my doctor. Am I renewing my ED subscription? Yes, smartass. No. No, and it's not a subscription, it's a prescription.
Well, for you, it's a subscription with endless continuity.
Let me tell you something, buddy. There's a whole lot of perk in this pickle. Don't you worry about it.
On that note, everybody, keep your eyes out in your email box. Tomorrow, we're doing the training for content marketing scripts, but then I'll be spreading the joy around Dan and Russell's launch of the newsletter and everything. So don't buy yet. Wait for my link to go and buy, because you're going to get some amazing bonuses for getting something that I would encourage you to get anyway. So great job, Dean. Well done. Well done, Dean. Enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you next week.